and welcome to another episode of Xpose-Her Marketing's Surviving Corona for Entrepreneurs. And today we have a guest that I know many of you are going to want to hear from because she is the hair growth coach. And today we're going to be speaking about how to maintain your natural. Yeah, this isn't my natural, guys, but underneath there is natural. So I know a lot of us, have difficulty maintaining, and especially under quarantine. So I am blessed and happy to introduce today the hair growth coach, Malika Brown. Malika, please welcome. Thank you for coming. Let us know, where you're at, and how you're doing out there.
Thank you for having me, Dr. Ross. So my name is Malika Brown. I'm located here in Cleveland, Ohio. I am a licensed cosmetologist of 11 years now, a former salon owner, and like you said, I am the hair growth coach. And what makes me the hair growth coach is because I use effective research-based methods to help women take personal responsibility and achieve their hair goals on their own.
I love it. That's why we called you, honey. Oh my gosh. So before we go any further, how are you doing out there? I know for a lot of you salon owners, are you guys still closed? They're talking about opening up different states. How's things out there for you, especially in your industry right now?
I think the industry generally will never be the same after this, or how we have to conduct business. But I've actually been doing pretty well. The salon is still closed. And I'm actually personally not in a rush to open it back up because I want to make sure that I'm keeping it safe for my employees as well as the clients.
Thank you so much. I respect that. I respect that totally. It's such a hard choice because you're weighing paying the bills, to health. And sometimes people really think that's a choice, but ultimately, if you haven't got your health, you've got nothing. So it's not really a choice, but, people feel like they're faced with one because, you want to keep that money coming in at the same time. So, I know that's got to be hard, but, I like to see you, you're being positive. So we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys. And trust me, when those doors do open, you guys need to get all the rest you can, because you are going to be busy,
Yeah.
honey. All right, busy. So, I want to speak about the natural hair journey because it's funny. I started it last year. I went for a really shortcut. Literally, it was like a number one on the sides and stuff. And I decided when it was starting to grow back that I wouldn't actually, put no more relaxer or anything in it. And it was beautiful at first, and then girl, about 2 months to 3 months later, the horror started happening. I've got like this new growth mixed with the perm, and it was a hot mess. So I literally had to get it all off, start again. So I've been natural for about a year now, and
Okay.
slowly figuring out, through videos and stuff, things I can do. But I really don't think I know everything, and I don't think a lot of people do. So today I want to ask you, first of all, if you're looking to start the natural hair journey, where would you start? How do you start to do it properly?
So where I would start to do it properly is the commitment. That is the first and foremost. It definitely is a mental commitment because when we transition to natural, it's a lot more hands-on work than when we were relaxed.
Which nobody actually, I don't know why I thought it was going to be easier. Then I remembered my daughter's hair, and I'm like, Keisha, it was never easy. It took a whole day just to wash it,
Yes.
blow dry it, braid it. Like we start at 8 in the morning and finish at 10 at night. So I get it.
So definitely commitment. And one thing about like the big chop, like you did a big chop, that is a lot of women are scared to do the big chop just because, going from longer hair to shorter hair, that is a transition within itself. But the big chop is okay. So I have two type of clients. I have a big chop client that's like, hey, cut it all off. It makes it easier because now me as a stylist, I'm only working with the hair that's natural.
Right.
So I can when I'm working with people who are transitioning that don't want to do the big chop and you only want to kind of just start growing your hair out, I'm not going to get relaxers anymore.
That was me.
Yes. You're working with two different textures.
Yes.
So you're working with one that's chemically altered and one that is not. So when they meet together, you get a lot of breakage. a lot of breakage and a lot of damage. So I always tell my clients that want to transition slowly through the process, you just have to be more committed to your journey, because you literally are restructuring your hair strands back again. So for people with just the natural journey, just decide the big chop. I was scared to do the big chop, but I went short for 2-3 years. So I actually kind of went natural in stages, and it kind of, yeah, and it helped me, because I was like, I can't walk around with an afro, like I can't do it.
Right.
So I know it's a lot of women that are like me, but that's why stylists, a lot of natural hair care stylists recommend the big chop, because if not, you will be in the salon or doing treatments every week, because those two textures are meeting.
Perfect. Okay, so in theory, it can be, it's not advised to be done, it can be done, but it's going to take a whole lot more maintenance to keep two types of textured hair.
Absolutely. And then also you have to think about how fast our hair grows out. Our hair only grows a half an inch a month. So up to 6 inches in a year.
Yes, so, because mine's literally 6 inches. Yeah, because it was a year ago and it's literally 6 inches now. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. So with that being said, you could go 2 years from now and still have relaxed ends. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. So, got you.
Yeah. So you definitely want to do the big chop if you can, but if transition, just transitions gradually.
And if you are doing it, both textures, ladies, trust me, don't do what I did. Do what she said. Have treatments and take whatever care, because I did do a lot of damage by trying to do it that way. Okay, so if we're on this journey and, you know, we're doing it, we're at home, can you give me like 3 tips that you can say, you know, to maintaining natural hair at home?
So the first thing is, don't get caught up so much in I'm 4A, I'm 4B, I'm 4C. That was a man-made typing system, and I always put that out there to use it as a reference point, but even in them categories, one size doesn't fit all.
So what is that? Just in case anybody doesn't understand, what is what do those grades mean? What do they mean?
So it's basically just defining how the curl pattern looks in its natural state. So 4A is a little looser, 4B you get a little coilier, and then 4C is like kinky, you know. So a lot of people identify with that, because when they go start their journey, they go look for information. Like, I think I'm 4C, I think I'm this, but you can actually be 4A, 4B, and 4C all on one head.
Wow.
Depending on where it's growing out from. So at home, I always suggest keeping the scalp clean. That is the number one rule, to keep the scalp clean. And how do we keep the scalp clean? We keep it by shampooing. I always suggest to shampoo once a week. I know people like co-washing, but professionally, I don't recommend co-washing, because a healthy and clean scalp is the foundation for hair growth.
Okay. Perfect.
You know what I mean? So like, if you have a lot of dry scalp and stuff, you are hindering your hair growth, or where your hair can grow, because the scalp is not able to breathe. It's follicles.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Love
so
that.
Definitely shampooing and conditioning. Deep conditioners are going to be your friend. Never skip a wash day without a deep condition.
Okay. Okay.
So, and
when you guess exactly, because, you know, some of us think just because the bottle says deep condition that we've given it a deep please explain, you know, what you really mean by that deep condition.
So what I mean by deep conditioning, I mean, that's when you are actually allowing the product to penetrate the hair. So I always recommend a heat source. So if you don't have a sit under dryer at home, you can activate it with your blow dryer. Because what that does is it opens the cuticle, so the conditioner can actually go in to the hair strands. I don't suggest leaving conditioners in overnight, because every conditioner has a processing time. Even if you make it up naturally at home, it has a processing time, and it's going to give you the appearance that it's working, but it's just because the hair is so wet, because you've allowed it to be on for a long time. And then also not doing a lot of oils. Oils does not equal moisture.
Guilty. Guilty. Oh my God, I'm so guilty. It's like the more I feel, the more grease that's on there is the more that, you know, I am guilty. I'm going to say that. Go ahead.
So that doesn't equal moisture. And that's because there's a difference between hydration and moisture. Okay.
Right.
So hydration is what we are putting in the body. How are we keeping the body hydrated? The skin is the largest organ in the body, so it requires us to be drinking our 8 glasses of water a day. So that's going to help with shine and elasticity,
Luster.
things,
Okay.
luster in the hair, versus moisture is what we get from our deep conditionings.
Got it. Got it.
So definitely. And
Makes
then
sense.
also, not over manipulating. A lot of naturals want to over manipulate, like, well, I'm going to do a twist style, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Our hair thrives better when we leave it alone.
Okay.
Keep it clean, but leave it alone.
Oh, wow. Girl, I've learned some stuff, and I know some people probably out there have learned some stuff too today. So one of the last things I'd like to ask you, I do remember that I'm always trying to figure out what products, you get to the aisle and there's just so much to choose from. And I just get so overwhelmed. I just grab, whatever I can find and I'm out the door. But, in your experience, what can you give us maybe 1 or 2 products, that we can just get to that will help us along our journey?
So I have 2 staple products that I really, really like, but I want to say a lot of times the products don't work because we don't understand our porosity level, how our hair is able to absorb moisture. So if I have low porosity, I can't use really heavy creams, even if I'm natural. Okay, because it's going to weigh the hair down. If I have medium porosity, I can use the heavier creams just sparingly.
So can I stop you when you say that? Is that like back when I remember when I used to do my daughter's hair and I'd be like, girl, your hair just eat up all this grease.
Yes.
It's okay. So that's so you so basically right.
She has high porosity.
Got
where
it.
It's hard for the hair to absorb the moisture and keep the moisture in.
Makes sense.
So 2 products that I really, really like for that is castor oil.
Okay.
Castor oil helps really well with absorption, as well as the LOX method. Okay. The LOX method, which is liquid. That's your liquid leave-in conditioner, your oil, your cream sealant, and sealing the hair. Okay.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
So we can actually go to our kitchen cabinets.
Okay.
To do that though.
Teach us. So what yeah, break that down a little bit more. We want to know a little bit more about that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if I'm going to use, my liquid, I love to use aloe vera juice. Okay. Aloe vera juice and water. So liquid always stands for your water-based product. So add a little aloe vera juice in with water and you can spray that on your hair. Now I'm going to go in with oils. So castor oil is the one that I highly recommend because regardless, people don't have a lot of allergies to it. When you get into the coconut oil and olive oil and things like that, they absorb really well, but some people have allergies to it. So follow up with your castor oil. And then for the cream, you're using like more of a moisturizer. So one of the moisturizers that I like is by Auntie Jackie's, and she has a really good moisturizer. And I put that on so as I'm going through the process, I'm sealing in everything I have put on. Okay. Mm-hmm. And sealing the hair is so key when you're natural. You can have an amazing wash day, and if you don't seal in the hair, your hair will be dry within the next 24 to 48 hours.
I've seen that too. Mm-hmm.
So definitely those are staple products that, castor oil, aloe vera juice. I love them.
Wow. Malika, I mean, even just in these couple of minutes, you have delivered so much information. Even me, I've got half the stuff you mentioned in the cabinet. So I think I'll be trying my hand at that.
Yes.
So if anyone, we love, what you're doing. We love the information. But if anyone wants to connect with you and get some more information or, have some training because you do coach, others in your industry, how do they connect with you?
They can connect with me by going to my website at www.thehairgrowthcoach.com.
Oh, I absolutely love it. So guys, you heard her. If you're at home like me under quarantine, trying to figure out how to tame that mane, you know that you have just heard some great nuggets from the hair growth coach herself. Thank you, Malika. We appreciate you sharing your time, pouring into others during this time. We wish you, safety for you, your family, and, we can't wait for you to also be back in business and doing what you do best. Thank
you
you.
for having me.
This is another edition of Xpose-Her Marketing's Surviving Corona. And remember, we are not just a campaign, we are a community. Until next time.